Alright, this last video I'm making is all about setting the grid in Windows, and what this is going to help you with is if you need to look at more than one chart at a time. And you'll need to be in the chart setting here, not the flexible grid. The flexible grid does a very similar thing to adding multiple charts. It's just you can put them up and down, left and right. When you're in the chart setting, they're basically going to be square, or some derivative thereof. So you can come up here into this little window and set as many as you want to. And then if you wanted to keep this to where you could have this many up at any given time, we'll just add in a few in here just for giggles, right? All right. So we know what we're looking at, right? And let's say we want to go from this back to what we were looking at. We might label this. We will save the grid. The grid is a layout of windows in one pane. This is considered a window pane, this whole thing that we're looking at. And then the number of charts we have inside of each one of these is referred to as the grid. So we're going to save this grid as YouTube example. We will see that we can quickly go and load between that. We'll go to my higher dollar ticker, which is this conforms to one entire window that I look at, and it encompasses all of the higher dollar tickers I typically follow. We can do the lower dollar tickers that I typically follow. We could show what my main screen is for the morning watch list. You see how that gets us back to 2, or we can go to have a look at the one that we just built for YouTube, and here's our example. Now, what if we need multiple windows? The next box to the right says that we can detach this. Before we detach it, I want to show you another neat feature. You can load symbols, which will be like in a watch list or whatnot, or you can clear them off, or you can clear them off helps like if you want a clean slate every morning and add your own in. Or I really like this button, Reorder Cells alphabetically. So I find that to be a very neat and handy feature. But let's say we filled all of this up, such as we were watching this screen here. And I don't want to get rid of these. I just want to move this whole set to a different monitor. I right click on here, and then I come down to detach, and it makes a carbon copy of that. Now I can take this carbon copy and move it to another screen, but for now I'm going to shrink it so that we can still see it. And I am going to hide it. Well, I guess I can't. Maybe I can. We'll see. We'll see what I can do. I'm going to hide it in here where we can still see it, pretending that this is on a different screen. Now, we can take this one and reorganize all of them by alphabetically. And then, of course, that did hide that. So I can get that back real quick. Let's see, what else can we do? We can take a screenshot of it to show someone, and it'll show the entire window. Another thing we could do is if you want to share your charting layout with a friend, you can share the grid, and that's a quick way to hand some stuff to people, like in a morning watch list if you wanted to share that. So just a couple of neat things that you can do. I tend to use this feature quite a bit just because, you know, I have my left screen shows my 8 different tickers that I'm watching on the high side, 8 tickers that I'm watching on the low side, and then I'd use my morning watch list when I'm going back and forth showing people like the details, like when I go through and I do my watch list, what I'm looking for, so I can shrink it down, and then I can show you what I'm looking at on the daily. But then when I'm actually trading my center screen, I click over to the flexible grid, and this shows usually what I'm working on one-to-one basis when I'm trading off of it, which gives me my level 3 data, my time and sales, a 1-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, and a daily chart to look at, so I can keep a good perspective on what's going on. And then sometimes I will deviate from this and replace these two. Oh, and then, yeah, of course I have the SPY here in 1 minute and a 5-minute. But sometimes I'll deviate from this and I will get rid of one of these, which I'm pretty sure I got rid of the wrong one. And I will unlink it so that, say I wanted to watch Apple and Square at the same time. I still have, if Apple's my primary and Square's my secondary, I can watch both of them at the same time and still have a reasonable situational and situational awareness on what's going on. So also, because I have my crosshairs set to overlap, I can make my charts match up time-wise. And you'll be able to see that as you run the cursor across. That's all I got for you guys, setting up the grid and the windows. And that should cover just about all you need to worry about when it comes to really tuning up your ThinkOrSwim. So I hope this series of videos has helped you. And if you get to this last one and you find yourself still having questions, leave a comment and let me know what else you need to go over. It's probably stuff I know, but I just forgot to cover. So I look forward to seeing y'all in next week during trading. Good luck. Hope this helped.